Hey, if you've ever thought my grill is just not big enough and I wish I had the biggest grill, you're gonna love this week's video. The Black Earth Community Grill goes underneath the microscope here at the BBQ Lab. And if you have a golf course or an event center or a church, or if you flat out just wanna beat everyone else on the block, this video is for you. I'm David Gafford, and we test over 100 different grills and outdoor cooking and outdoor living appliances for you every year to help you make a good decision on how you spend your hard-earned dollars. Today we're on location because this grill is so big, I don't have a place to put it in my house or on my patio, so it lives here at the storage unit whenever we're not using it. This grill is a full pellet grill and a full gas grill. We're going to put it to the test in this week's video, but before we do, let me tell you a little bit about the Community Grill. Probably the first thing you want to know is just how big is this grill. Let's measure it and find out. From one side to the other, it's about 85 inches, not including these little push rods. If you look at the push rods on the outside, I'm going to go with probably 89 or 90 inches. I mean, you're talking about this much grill. That's a lot. If you look at how deep this grill is, starting at the back of this shelf all the way to the front, I'm going to say 33 and a half inches is about how deep it is. And how tall it is, this one's a little subjective, but I'm going to say about 55 to 56 inches high. Whenever someone sees this grill, they almost always want to know what kind of grates are inside and what they look like. So let's open the hood and show you. There is a top rack and a bottom rack. Let's go ahead and get the measurements here. On the top rack, we're talking about a depth of about 19 and a half inches, and we have a width from one side to the other, right about 53 inches is how tall or how long the shelf is, and the grates themselves, if you put them side to side, are about 49 and a half inches for that top rack. The main grate, left to right, I have 52 and a half to 53 inches, and from a depth, I have right at 28 or 28 and a half inches. If you look on the website, it's going to tell you exactly how many square inches. We'll put that here. It'll also tell you how many square inches you get on the upper rack. We'll put that here. But really the idea is, this thing is huge. I don't know who needs this at home. Maybe you just want to beat everybody, and you could totally do that. But remember, this is a full gas grill and a full pellet grill. If you look at the gas grill side of things, you have 8 different burners and 8 different knobs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Each one of those has a corresponding burner and a heat tent or deflector or flavorizer bar, whatever you want to call those, that is on top of each one. That is the gas grill side. If you look on the sides, this is where the pellet grill comes into play. Each side of this grill has a 40-pound pellet hopper. You can look in here. I've got the pellets left over from the last cook that we did. This is hopper 1. Let's go to the other side. On hopper 2 side, you can see we have the fireboard controller just below here. This is where the controller lives. Right above here, we have the built-in thermometer. This is going into the grill chamber to tell us what the internal temperature is. This is the second hopper that also has 40 pounds of pellets inside. So for those of you mathematicians out there, 40 pounds plus 40 pounds equals 80 pounds of pellets in this grill at one time. I don't know about you, but that's a lot of pellets for me. You might be asking, what is this grill made with? This is 304 stainless steel. This entire grill, almost all of the major parts of this grill, are made of 304 stainless steel. And you might be saying, hey, wait a minute, that's black. That looks like that's powder coated. It is, but this is powder coated 304 stainless. Why in the world would you powder coat it? Well, stainless steel turns yellow under high heat, or at least has the ability to. So to make sure that this still looks great after you've used it under high heat environments, they powder coated it, which is a really great decision, I think. Black Earth Grills is known for multifunctional grills, and this is the largest in their fleet. They are located and manufactured in Manitoba, Canada. It's also important to note that there are 2 pellet burn cups on this grill. Other pellet grills like a Traeger or a Pit Boss have 1, but this grill is so massive that it has a burn cup on both ends of the grill. That means dual heat deflectors to keep the cooking indirect, but it's all controlled by a single Fireboard controller. If you're not familiar with the Fireboard, this is essentially a Fireboard 2 controller, which has 6 probe ports included. The grill ships with 6 extra long probes, and I could reach all over the grill to keep tabs on the internal temperatures of my meat. When you're cooking with propane, the dual-sided lid is a huge plus. Since you can open the lid from both sides, you can man the grill with 2 people to keep things easy. The lid is also completely removable, so if the weather is nice or you're under a picnic shelter, you can take the lid off and easily work across the entire grilling surface. Now, if you're wondering about the BTUs that this grill puts out, it clocks in at 160,000 BTUs, which is absolutely massive. To test the pellet grill capabilities of the community grill, I picked up 6 briskets from our local membership club and set them to cook overnight. I could monitor the cook using the Fireboard app on my phone, set alerts, and as long as I filled the grill with enough pellets, I could get a good overnight sleep while these beauties smoked. The next day when I checked in, here's how they looked. I wrapped them in foil to push through the stall, and here are the results sliced, which made a fantastic lunch. And here's where these briskets ended up in chopped form for tacos. We help out with the local youth group, and it was a taco bar for 250 people made easy by the pellet grill function on the community grill. I also wanted to try a few pork butts on this grill, so I loaded it up with 11 butts and let them smoke low and slow overnight, and here's what they looked like at first morning light. I admit it was really easy cooking this many pork butts overnight while sleeping, wrapping them in the morning, and having everything ready by lunchtime. We cooked these for a Halloween event where we gave away free sandwiches during a trunk or treat, and it was a blast. In just a second, I'm going to show you how this thing works as a propane grill. But before we do, I want to pass a question off to you. What is the first thing you would cook on this grill if you had it at your house or your place of business? Are you going to throw a whole hog on this thing, or are you going to put as many hot dogs as you possibly can and throw a rager for the neighborhood? Let me know what you would cook on this grill if you had it, and let's continue the conversation down in the comments below. Since this grill is designed to feed a crowd, I put it in the trailer and pulled it to church for an event with 350 hungry teens. The theme for the night was jerseys and burgers, and I brought my cooking group along for the ride. We bought frozen 1/3 pound patties from Costco and lined up the community grill with the gas burners installed for propane grilling. Since we only had about 90 minutes to cook 350 burgers, I hooked the grill up to 2 of the 20-pound propane tanks. If you're planning on installing this grill and not moving it around very much, I'd plan on picking up some 100-pound tanks as recommended by the manufacturer. These 20-pound tanks worked in a pinch, but I needed more vaporization from liquid propane to gas to get us to the full power of what this grill can really do. I'd say we got about 80% with the 20-pound tanks, so more than enough for what we needed. I had the guys man the grill, and we started by taking the lid off so we could work from both sides. That's one of the beautiful design choices that Black Earth made with this grill. Just unplug the thermometer, get a couple of guys, and lift it straight off. It's easy access and very convenient with the lid off, but we had a good amount of wind that night. So while it worked without a lid, I preferred leaving the lid on to keep the wind from messing with the flames. I really like that the lid opens from both sides, so we could have one person responsible for each side of the grill. We found a good rhythm was to put 3 rows of burgers on in the front and then open the back and put 2 more rows on, staggering the cook to make working with the lid a bit easier. 350 burgers later, and the community grill performed like a champ. If I'm cooking for a crowd, I want one of these because it made it so easy. By the way, if you're getting value out of this video and you're finding it helpful, hit that like button for us and consider subscribing as we cover grills all over the value spectrum right here on the channel. We'd love to have you come back for more. I obviously like this grill, but the question is, how will it do with our perfect grill checklist? If you want to take a grill through the same criteria that we're going to use right now, I'll link to that video and where you can get the checklist up in the card above and in the description down below. First, let's talk about price. There's really no way to sugarcoat this. We're talking about a 5-figure grill here. It's not cheap, and the price reflects that. I think it's worth the price, but this grill is not for those lacking significant funds to purchase. A reluctant 2 out of 10 for price. And while we're talking about price, we always get asked, did we buy this grill to do this review? We did not purchase this grill. This was sent to us for review by Black Earth Grills, and we're using it here at our local church and nonprofit functions that we have involvement in as the Barbecue Lab. So special thanks to Black Earth for letting us shoot this video and not telling us what we can or can't say. When you look at the capacity of this grill, it's hard to deny that this is absolutely huge. Nothing but a 10 for capacity will suffice. For a grill weighing 660 pounds, this is a heavy grill. I've seen many that have 6 burners, but they're usually called event grills and they're cheaply made and won't last longer than a year or two. This is the opposite side of the spectrum here, weighty and well built. It's a 10 for the weight and size because they don't get much better than this one. Looking at the searing ability of this grill, it does a great job. Burgers were no problem. I think an 8 is in order for the score since the best searing grills can usually sear over 1,000 degrees and have a dedicated zone for it, but the community grill is no slouch getting it done with even high heat. There are multiple ways to get a low temperature across this grill. On the pellet grill settings, you can go as low as the fireboard controller allows. If you want something still lower, you could only fill one hopper with pellets and just run it off of one of the burners. That would make the other side of the grill cooler as long as you fill the side with the thermometer. On the gas grill side of things, you can only turn on as many burners as you think you'll need. With 8 burners to choose from, only lighting one will give you incredibly low temps when set to the lowest setting. A 9 out of 10 for low temperature control. Indirect cooking is easy. The pellet grill runs indirect for the entire length of the grill, and you can turn on and off gas burners for virtually unlimited indirect cooking options. It's a 9 for indirect cooking options only because the fire isn't offset from the cooking chamber, making it wholly indirect. On the multifunctional use side of things, a grill that's all pellet grill and all propane grill is a dream for most backyard cooks. All of the control of a pellet grill, but also with the ability to grill hot and fast. It's an 8 out of 10 because we're just short a griddle add-on and a way to do pizza to complete the category. The quality of construction of the community grill is second to none. It's all 304 stainless construction, and some of that stainless steel is powder coated to make sure the heat doesn't yellow or discolor those portions. I wish all grills were constructed as well as this one, a 10 out of 10 for construction quality. Controlling the community grill is easy. If you're using the fireboard controller, it doesn't get much easier. If you're working with propane, there's 8 knobs of control. I think a 9 is in order for ease of control simply because there's no digital way to control the propane side of things. Cleaning this beast isn't hard, but it's 5 times the size of most grills out there, so it just takes longer. The grates come off in sections and the deflector plates come out easily. And then it's just scraping any leftovers down into the drip pan below. I think a 7 out of 10 is fair for ease of cleaning. The community grill isn't exactly designed to need many accessories, but if you look at the Black Earth website, you can see a folding rib rack that's pretty cool looking and maybe some skewers for kebabs. I'll give it a 5 out of 10 for available accessories, but I'm curious, what accessories would you want? Let me know down in the comments what you think is missing for this grill. When you look at fuel types, this grill cooks with 3 out of the big 5. Wood pellets? Yes. Propane? Yes. Natural gas? Yes. Charcoal and wood splits are the 2 methods which it doesn't use, so an 8 out of 10 for fuel flexibility. When I usually look at the side shelves, they're often flimsy and won't hold a sheet pan of food on most grills. This grill, though, handles entire full trays with ease. They're very solid, there's no bending or flexing, and I can't think of a shelf on a grill I like better, so a 10 out of 10 for the side shelves. The cooking grates are made of stainless steel, and I think they're a good balance of weight to performance. They're not the super thick grates like you'd find on an outdoor kitchen built-in grill, but they're no charbroil either. I think a 7 out of 10 is a good match for these. There's one upper rack that comes with the Community Grill out of the box, and it's by far the largest upper rack that I've ever seen in a non-trailer grill. I like that it's easy to pull out, even though if you forget the grates are on top, when you go to move it, they'll all fall off. So remember to take those off first. Ask me how I know. A 9 out of 10 for the upper rack because it's very close to perfect. Monitoring the temperature is easy in pellet grill mode since it's digital. It's hard in propane grill mode since it's 8 individual dials, but it does get extra points for having a fireboard controller that gives you 6 wired probe ports that you can use as either ambient air temp thermometers or as internal meat thermometers. An 8 out of 10 for monitoring. Storage space is pretty much just this lower shelf, which is lovely. I move mine around way too much to make good use of it, but if this was just sitting on the patio, I'm sure you could store some stuff down here. No doors, so it's all wide open to the elements, so a 6 out of 10 for storage space. I'm going to give this grill a 7 out of 10 for mobility. I would go higher if it had the off-road package with golf cart tires, but Black Earth thinks I'm crazy for thinking that's a good idea. I can move this through the grass just fine when it's dry, but spring in Indiana is soggy, so I'm taking off some points for mobility trying to get it around in the muddy grass with hard plastic wheels. The warranty on the Community Grill isn't very well defined on the Black Earth Grill's website or on the manual. If I'm allowed to paraphrase here, it looks like there's a 1-year warranty on the electronics and moving parts. The body of the grill is made of thick 304 stainless steel, so we know that it's going to last decades. I'm going to give the warranty a 5 out of 10 simply because it lacks definition and could be explained better to help potential customers feel safer about their purchase. In my experience, getting Black Earth on the phone is extremely easy, and you can talk to the owner the same day. He's very easy to work with, and I'd like to think that he's going to make things right for his customers based on my experiences thus far. The cooking height on this grill is 37 inches. For most gas grills, you'll find it to be 34 or 35 inches that you're interacting with the grate itself. This one's 37 inches, so I personally love it. Melissa, on the other hand, who's a good bit shorter than I am, it's a little tall for her. So cooking height for me, I think it's great. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Melissa would probably give it a 5 or a 6. So depending on which one you are looking at, whether you're taller or shorter, count that number for you. For cooking evenness, I think an 8 out of 10 is in order. During our burger cook, we had a little hot spot on the right-hand side towards the front, and for some reason, that was warmer. Could be a variety of things, but overall, on such a huge cooking surface, it was quite even. Also, incredible respect for the wind tolerance of this grill. As long as you have the lid on, the wind just doesn't bother it. These huge oven-grade gaskets seal up the chamber, so wind isn't an issue. 10 out of 10 for wind tolerance with the lid. If you take the lid off, though, then you're taking off the wind protection and all bets are off. I do that only when it's calm out. I really can't speak to regional considerations. That's something that's up to you. But if you have burn bans or lots of wind or sea spray, you want to consider that in your purchase as something to evaluate, but you have to do that yourself. For flavor on the Community Grill, you can get the best of gas grilling with juices dripping on the deflector bars and coming back up as seasoning vapors. Pellet grill cooking, you get the added benefit of wood pellet flavors and smoke. What's missing is charcoal or wood split flavors, so a 7 out of 10 for flavor is what I think is fair. If you add up all of the scores in the 23 categories, we get a total of 173 out of a possible 230. No grill is perfect, but I think that's a great showing for the Black Earth Community Grill. Now it's your turn. What categories did you agree with, and which do you think I completely whiffed on? Let's talk about it down in the comments. I'm David Gafford with the BBQ Lab. Behind the camera is my lovely wife, Melissa. Thanks for joining us, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.